What's up guys, Reef back with another video, and today we will be making salt for the tank. I'm going to show you how I do it and what salt I'll be using for this video. So don't mind the mess, we're just doing a little winter cleaning. But I'm going to show you my fish closet and how we're going to get this all set up. So here's my buckets. We're going to be using the water box reef salt. Got 2 boxes there. Basically what I do, I don't even heat up the water or anything. It just goes straight into a bucket from my RO system right here. Right there. Currently made 5 gallons. I'll usually try to do a 10-gallon water change for the big tank. But basically what I'm going to do now is pour this water into a bucket, put the salt into the bucket, and obviously have the wave maker do its thing to mix up the salt. So let me get that started, get a bucket and do all that stuff. Be right back. Alrighty, so I poured the 5-gallon bucket of RO water into the bucket here, have the wave maker going, and today we'll be using the water box reef salt. I believe it mixes up at 460 calcium, 8 alkalinity, and 1400 magnesium, which is perfect for my parameters, specifically made for mixed reefs. So usually what I do is, you can add as much salt to hit the 1.025 SG, but usually it's about 2.5 cups for me for 5 gallons. We're gonna undershoot it to put about 2 cups worth. Then we'll add a little bit more once we hit our designated numbers. So all you gotta do is scoop. This is 1 cup right here. Let's see if we can get 1 cup perfectly. If not, we'll just add more. So it's about a little bit, 3/4 cup. Once we have a scoop in there, your wave maker is going, and just slowly pour it in. Just make sure it mixes up. Per their instructions, it says that it should take about 15 minutes for it to clear up. So we'll check back then. So just do another scoop. So we are at a little less than 2 cups right now, which is fine. And then we will test it with our Hannah checker to see where our salinity is at. So let's just dump that in, let that mix for a bit, and we'll check back with the Hannah checker to see where we're at. So let's just mix that up. All good. You see it's like settling on the bottom there. Just move your wave maker a little bit around just so that it hits it and mixes up clearly. So we'll check back in like 10-15 minutes and see where we're at there. All right, so it's been about 15-20 minutes. We have our Hannah checker, salinity tester. We're gonna check to see what temperature it's at and the salinity that it's currently reading. Let's see. So like I said, we were just under 2 cups. Usually do 2.5. We're at 70-ish degrees, 70 degrees, 69 degrees, which is fine. So I'm gonna add about a 1/2 cup or so to get it up to my ideal number, which is 1.025. Where's my cup? Here's my cup, here it is. So we're gonna do a bit of a 1/2 scoop. This is where you wanna be a little bit more careful of how much additional you want to put in. It's not too bad, because let's say if you put too much salt in it, you just add more RO water to dilute it, so it's not too bad. So like I said, let's do a 1/2 cup. I think it was a 1/2 cup or so, and then we'll check back in a few minutes. You can actually just check right now just to see what it's currently reading. Since we still have our tester on, it should be bumped up. So we said 1.018, so it's already at 1.022. So I believe we'll need a little bit more, and then we should be at our number. So let me add a little bit more, and we'll check back in 5 minutes, and then we will do the water change, and I'll show you how that all works out. Alrighty, we're back for the second test. Let's see here. So we are at 10.23, 10.24. So ideally you want to get it to 10.25, for my tank 10.25. So we'll add a little bit more and then we'll be ready for the water change, and we'll go back into there. So let me just add a little bit more salt. Honestly, that's probably enough to get to the 10 to 5 mark. Just test it real quick. 10 to 5. There we go. So yeah, I mean, I don't use a heater. You're supposed to use, you're recommended to use a heater. It's not gonna make much difference once I have it in a tank, because this is not a lot of water volume comparative to the tank volume, which is about 90 gallons total. So we have that done, still making some water. Now we're gonna let this mix a little bit more. Going to take out some of the dirty water in the big tank. Don't mind the mess. There's the kid. So we're gonna do a quick water change in the tank. I'm not gonna show you how to redo the water change. Just take water out and put water in. So maybe I'll do some vacuuming of the sand here. It looks a little weird, pebbly kind of stuff here. But otherwise, we will regroup back once after I've done the water change, and I'll show you the dirty water. Then I'll just show you how I put water back into the tank. Alrighty, so the water is made. Now we're gonna do a quick water change in this tank. So a 10-gallon water change, so it's about 10%. Yeah, 10% water change. Gonna do a little sand vacuum on, I guess, on the left side of the tank. I'll show you before and after. As you can see all this little crumb stuff on it. It's kind of weird. Usually it's bright white sand. We're gonna do a water change, show you the dirty water, and then I will put in the new water and show you how that's done. So I'll do 5 gallons in the display and then 5 gallons from the sump. Let's get started. Alrighty, so we're gonna do a water change, get started. We are using the Flipper Tank Buddy to secure it into our bucket. There we go. I already got the siphon going on. So now this is secure in the bucket and doesn't fall out. And now we have the suction for the gravel vac. I believe it's called the Python. Going to be vacuuming the sand. I'll show you how I do it. It's really simple. So whenever you see like nasty stuff in the sand, all you gotta do is prime it a little bit. Use this as a primer, and then you can see all the garbage getting sucked up into the hose right there. So you're not sucking up the sand, you're just sucking up like all the detritus and all that stuff, and then, you know, just doing that throughout your tank. So we'll be doing this for a bit, just getting all the spots, doing it in like smaller portions. You're not going through your tank and just doing a whole wipe of it. You're doing it in smaller portions just to get all that little gunk out. You see how brown that is? So let's vacuum that out. Then hopefully my garbage water should be a good tint of brown, but I don't think so. It looks pretty clean today. Usually if I do it, it turns like a really dark brown. But like I said, we're gonna do 5 gallons here in the display, and then 5 gallons in the sump. See, that's nasty. But yeah, this is good for just stirring up the stand bed. As you can see there. Before it was like all this like brown stuff on top of the sand bed. Usually I don't have that, but if you're doing water changes, this is a good habit to do when you're doing water changes. I know some people say don't disturb the sand bed. I usually disturb it. It's not an issue. This tank's been up for almost 2 years. Is it 2 years? Approaching 2 years. And every time I do a water change, I always vacuum the sand if I have time, because it's a little bit more time consuming than just taking out the water and putting it back in. So if you look in the bucket right now, it's like real nasty. So we're gonna do that for 5 gallons, and then we'll be back to put in the fresh water back into this tank, the newly made water into the tank. So be right back. All right, so we're done with the water change up top. So you see sand bits nice, wet, and clean. Here's the garbage water in the back over here. Nasty, nasty, full of fish poop and all that kind of stuff. So now we have the fresh water that we just made maybe like 30 minutes ago. Now it's time to just put it back into the water, back into the tank, I mean. Simple as getting a little pail, or if you want to use one of the pumps, you can pump it back into the water. But since it's only 5 gallons going back into the display, that's all it is. Just get a little pail, a little thing, and just put it back into your tank. I mean, that's all it is. That's all I do. Maybe every couple of months, we'll do like a 10-gallon water change. And just that simple. Nothing too fancy, nothing crazy. You can see there's nothing that gets disturbed. Like I said, this water is about like 70 degrees about. Tank water runs about 77, 78. So it'll equalize, it'll just turn on the heater once it realizes that the water is slightly colder than usual. So it really won't affect how the tank operates or affect any corals. So yeah, I'm gonna do this for the rest of the bucket, and that should be it. Guys, thanks for watching. Appreciate all the support. And if you have any comments, any questions, let me know. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.